Well, we're so happy to have Leslie and Stephen Shaw with us tonight, authors of Who They Are and What They're Up To. And you can pick that up on Amazon and on their website, which we have in the show description. So look at the show notes. You can find that. And you can also find a direct link in the show notes to purchase their book, Who They Are and What They're Up To. Bob Salas told us about his abduction experience and said that they did painfully remove semen from his body, which was horrifying to find out. And one thing we've noticed is that as we do talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people shared things with us off the air.
Right.
And one thing that y'all said, it struck me. You talked about owls. Some people see owls and different things. We had somebody tell us off the air, off the record, that they had experiences with giant praying mantises looking in their windows. Have y'all heard of such a description as that before?
Yes, one of the people I'm in contact with on Instagram, he's says he's been having sex with a female insectoid alien, and it's been a long-term thing. And he actually was recently introduced to one of his children, one of their
Whoa.
children, and I asked him. I said, "Okay, so you're having sex with her. Is she skeletally different than we are?" And he said, no, she has the same skeletal frame, but she has, a head with like almost like, the Triceratops fan that goes behind their horns, the big fan thing. There's something a little bit like that.
Who was having the insectoid sex?
He's an Instagram friend, and therefore he's anonymous. I don't have a name.
Oh, I see.
Like a lot of people who contact us, they want to stay anonymous. So I use him as a sounding board when I want to ask questions about the insectoids. We were talking about CRISPR a few minutes ago. We think that these beings, the Nordics, are kind of the ones in charge, and that they make hybrid beings whenever it suits their needs. That they don't, like we quibble at the idea of changing the human being, genetically speaking, but they have no such qualms, we believe. So we think that's what the reptilians are, is when they need reptilians to do, I don't know, lots of underwater work, say, they breed some reptilians. So I don't know exactly what the insectoids are for precisely, but I think they serve some purpose that they need, and that's why they bred them.
I want to post this question to our listeners. Chime in on the chat with your thoughts about this, and to CJ and Smitty and Leslie and Steven. Sex with an insectoid, is it illegal? Because
only
it's
in that
not a
they're
human,
abducting the
right?
people they're having sex with. So
Well,
they're raping and abducting them.
right. And if they just chose to, though, like legally, I've always said, well, sex with an animal, for example, that's illegal. That's bestiality.
I
It's
don't know whether
illegal.
it's sodomy or bestiality or
Yeah,
whatever, but it's funny how people pick up on certain things. It's
yeah.
like, the least important thing I thought about was the insectoid thing, but it's like,
Well, we think that we think they're cousins to us. They're close cousins to us. So genetically speaking, we think no, they're not having sex with animals. Because they're able to breed with us. That's one of the big things that is like.
that's one of the big giveaways.
Yeah, this bizarre breeding program they have going on with us, making hybrids, and frequently the women are reporting having sex with aliens, and so they're getting pregnant via sex.
Oh yes.
Not like some genetic modification and fertilization, in vitro fertilization.
This was the other big giveaway for me, since with obstetrics and ultrasounds, a lot of these women report, being pregnant and going to the doctor. Ultrasound shows they have a fetus that's developing, and it seems to be about the 4 to 4.5 month mark when the fetus develops to be about 5 centimeters, or about roughly the size of a baseball. The fetus and the placenta and everything just disappears.
Yeah.
And the doctor will say, you were pregnant, but as far as this ultrasound shows and test shows, you were never pregnant. And this will happen to some women 2, 3, 4 times sometimes.
Yeah, it's like they vacuum out the womb
in a way that is very, very careful, obviously.
Yeah. So there is some talk of the Dulce papers talk about a security guard going to some of the lower levels of one of these underground bases and discovering aliens being grown in vats.
And human hybrids.
Hybrid aliens and full gray aliens were in these hundreds of vats. And we think that's what they do with the fetuses when they take them. They put them in these vats to finish.
Super disturbing.
growing.
And I want to follow up on that.